Major General Mai Hữu Xuân was a general of the Army of the Republic of Vietnam and a participant in the November 1963 coup that deposed President Ngô Đình Diệm and ended in his assassination. Xuân started his career in the Vietnamese National Army of the French-backed state of Vietnam and worked in military security and was made an ARVN general, but was later put into a minor job by Diem. During the coup against Diem, Xuân led trainee enlisted men in a successful attack on the headquarters of the National Police and the Secret Police. Xuân then led a group that arrested Diem and his younger brother and chief advisor, Ngô Đình Nhu, after the hiding place was discovered. During the trip back to headquarters, the Ngô brothers were assassinated, leading to a debate over who gave the order. Prior to 1963, Xuân was a member of the ruling junta and served as the mayor of Saigon and the head of the National Police, during which time he was accused of arresting people for ransom. After 3 months, the junta was overthrown by General Nguyen Khan and Xuân was arrested along with Generals Trn Van Thon, Le Van Kim and Tun Th Thin, accused of plotting to make peace with the communists and making South Vietnam a neutral state. Khan was able to find evidence and his military tribunal convicted them of lax morality and being unqualified to command due to a lack of a clear political concept. Xuân and his colleagues were put under house arrest for a period, before being released and compulsorily retired after a service limit was introduced. Early career. Xuân served under Prime Minister Nguyen Van Tam during the French-backed state of Vietnam era in the 1950s in military security. When Diem became Prime Minister of the state of Vietnam, Xuân fought for him as an officer in the Vietnamese National Army in the Battle for Saigon in May 1955, against the Binh Duyen organized crime syndicate that sought to take over the capital. The VNA dismantled the Binh Duyen and Xuân was made a general. Xuân turned against Diem after he was relegated to a minor job, and he readily joined the plot against Diem. His opposition to his rule grew in 1963. Diem assassination. The ARVN conducted a coup against Diem on 1 November 1963, and Xuân led some of the units. He used some newly enlisted troops from the Quam Trung training camp to capture the headquarters of the National Police, which included the secret police under the direct control of Diem's brother and advisor, Nhu. The next morning Diem and Nhu, who had escaped from the siege on the palace, agreed to surrender. The coup leader, General Duong Van Minh, dispatched a convoy to pick them up from the hideout in Colon. The convoy was led by Xuân and consisted of Colonels Nguyen Van Quan and Duong Ngoc Lam. Quan was Minh's deputy, and Lam had been the commander of Diem's civil guard until defecting midway through the coup once a rebel victory seemed assured. 2 further officers made up the convoy, Major Duong Hieu Gia and Captain Nguyen Van Nung, Minh's bodyguard. When the officers arrived, Diem requested that the convoy stop at the palace so that he could gather personal items before being exiled. Xuân turned him down, clinically stating that his orders were to take the brothers directly to headquarters. Nhu expressed disgust that they were to be transported in an armored personnel carrier, asking, "You use such a vehicle to drive the president?" Xuân said that it was selected to protect them from extremists. Xuân ordered the brothers' hands be tied behind the backs before shoving them into the carrier. One officer asked to shoot Nhu, but Xuân turned him down. He didn't want to kill Nhu at that point, as he purportedly intended to torture Nhu for money. After the arrest, Nung and Gia sat with the Ngô brothers in the APC. Before dispatching the convoy, Minh was reported to have gestured to Nung with 2 fingers. This was taken as the order to kill the Go brothers. As the convoy on the route to the general headquarters, Shan ordered the APC to stop over at a national police station where he brutally tortured Nhu and Diem, asking them where they had hidden money. When they refused to release the information, Shan killed them with his pistol. An investigation by Thon later determined Gia shot the brothers at point-blank range with a semi-automatic firearm and that Nung sprayed them with bullets before repeatedly stabbing the bodies with a knife without realizing that both the brothers had already been killed by Shan. The generals were shocked to see the dead bodies, and Thon ordered another officer to tell reporters that the brothers had died in an accident. He went to confront Min in his office. Thon: "Why are they dead, Min, and what does it matter that they are dead?" At this time, Shan walked into Min's office through the open door, unaware of Thun's presence. Shan snapped to attention and stated, "Mission accompli." Although the blame was widely placed on Min, U.S. Ambassador Henry Cabot Lodge, Jr. thought that Shan was partly culpable, asserting that Diem and Nhu had been assassinated, if not by Shan personally, at least at his direction. Junta and overthrow. Under the military junta, Shan served as the national police chief. He was accused of arresting people en masse before releasing them in return for bribes and pledges of loyalty. Shan did not survive long in his new post. General Khan, disgruntled at Min and the other leading generals did not offer him a position in the 12-man junta, began to plot. Khan was transferred to command 1st Corps, based around Hue and Ta Nang in the far north of Vietnam. Khan had wanted a transfer to the 4th Corps in the Mekong Delta close to Saigon, close to the political intrigue. Khan joined forces with other ambitious officers who resented the MRC for giving jobs they felt were insignificant. These included Brigadier General Th Mao, the Minister of Information, Colonel Nguyen Chan Th Un, and General Kiem, who had been demoted from being Chief of Staff of the ARVN to the commander of the 3rd Corps that surrounded Saigon, which meant that he controlled the troops near the capital. At the time, French President Charles de Gaulle was contemplating recognizing the People's Republic of China and wanted Southeast Asia neutralized as part of his agenda to cultivate relations with the Communist bloc. De Gaulle wanted the United States out of South Vietnam. Khan told various American officials that Generals Shan, Thon, Min, and Le Van Kim were pro-French and pro-neutralist and part of de Gaulle's plan. Before dawn on the 30th of January, Khan and his colleagues seized power in a bloodless coup before dawn, catching the MRC completely off guard. Khan had Shan arrested, along with Min, Thon, Kim and Tun Th Thin, claiming that they were part of a neutralist plot with the French. Khan noted they had served in the French-backed Vietnamese National Army in the early 1950s, although he had done so as well. The generals were flown to Mai Khe Beach, near Ta Nang, and placed under house arrest. Retribution by Khan. Khan tried Shan and his colleagues in May. The generals were interrogated for 5.5 hours, mostly about details of the coup against Diem, rather than the original charge of promoting neutralism. As Khan was involved in the plot as well, this did not reveal any new information. The court deliberated for over 9 hours, and when it reconvened for the verdict, Khan stated, "We ask that once you begin to serve again in the army, you do not take revenge on anybody." The tribunal then congratulated Shan and his colleagues, but found that they were of lax morality, unqualified to command due to a lack of a clear political concept. Shan and his fellow generals were chastised for being inadequately aware of the heavy responsibility, and of letting the subordinates take advantage of the positions. They were allowed to remain in Tarlat under surveillance with their families. Shan was barred from commanding troops, as were his colleagues. An office was prepared so that he could participate in research and planning. Worried the Shah and his idle colleagues would plot against him, Khan made arrangements to send them to the United States for military study, but this fell through. In any case, the younger generation of officers forcibly retired Shah and the other generals by making it compulsory for officers to retire after 25 years of military service. When Khan was himself deposed in 1965, he handed over dossiers proving that Shah and his colleagues were innocent.